We'd like to invite everybody to Colby. We're basically a progressive ag community. We have wonderful people here. I wasn't born here. I chose to make Colby my forever home. And it's because of the people and the kindness and the good old-fashioned values, and it's just a wonderful place to visit. And so we just have a lot to offer somebody.
Traveling Kansas Colby is underwritten by a grant from Colby Convention and Visitors Bureau. The Oasis on the Plains hopes you take time to experience all that Colby has to offer, from shopping to recreation, a museum that explores our heritage, to an exciting new event center.
This program is brought to you by the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. Find out more information about Kansas communities at travelks.com.
Hi, I'm Julie Sadler, and I'm the Executive Director of Tourism in Colby, and we're out here at our visitor center that we're very proud of, commonly known as the grain bin. And this is where we ask the travelers all come to get travel information, brochures, whatever we can help them with.
We started out with a grain bin because this is wheat country. So this building is a wheat bin in wheat country. And it's been interesting because we're right next to Interstate 70, and it's surprising the number of people that come off of that from all states, and I think 53 foreign countries have visited Colby Visitor Center. Colby's not that big a town. It's about 5,500 people, but it's the largest town between Hays, Kansas and Denver, and that's 300 miles. And yes, we do have Walmart, we do have McDonald's, we do have Starbucks, and we get lots of interesting people, almost always, all of them. I'd say 99% of the people that come through the door here are friendly people and pleasant to talk to.
Hi, my name is Ann Miner, and I'm the director of the Prairie Museum of Art and History. We're standing in the main gallery of the main museum building. This gallery, as well as our military gallery and our historic buildings outside, tell the story of local and regional history here in Thomas County in western Kansas. We're really two museums in one, in that, in addition, we have extensive galleries called the Kuska Collection of glass, ceramics, toys, dolls, furniture, you name it, that connect us with other cultures and other times and places in history. Nellie Kuska was a former school teacher, and with her husband, Joe, she raised her family here in Colby, and she was an inveterate collector. She collected things that had value, that had some kind of story to tell. She collected from across the United States and around the world. And when they retired, they moved to California. They opened a small museum called the Little Smithsonian of the West. And when she passed away, her children decided to donate the entire collection to the people of Thomas County. So we like to say that in this one museum we have something for everyone, the history buffs and the art and antique lovers. We even have a place for the kids, the Kansas Kids Corner over here. A mechanical horse they can ride in the back, an operating model train, as well as many interactive features throughout the rest of the museum. If you're a geocacher, we have 2 thoroughly unique geocaches on the grounds as well. The Prairie Museum of Art and History is located right off I-70 in Colby, easily accessible from exits 53 and 54. We are open every weekday from 9 to 5 and weekends from 1 to 5, though we're closed on Mondays during the cold months from November through March. We're just south of other Colby attractions such as the Aquatic Park, Walking Trail, and the new Event Center, so you can make a day of it in Colby. We suggest that you allow at least an hour and a half to see everything there is to see at the Prairie Museum. In addition to the main museum building housing the Kuska Collection, we have several historic buildings that are fully accessible to visitors. They include a 1930s farmhouse, a one-room school building, a sod house, country church, and the largest barn in Kansas, the Cooper Barn. Each of these buildings helps us tell the story of the people who settled this part of the state in the late 1800s, survived the Dust Bowl, and thrived in agricultural communities. The Cooper Barn, largest barn in Kansas, built in 1936 about 16 miles northeast of Colby to house the Foster Farms prized Hereford cattle, was moved to the museum grounds in one piece in 1992 and now houses an extensive exhibit called High and Dry, Agriculture on the High Plains. Our sod house replica, built in 1984 by community members, represents how people made do when they came to settle in a place that had virtually no trees. Whether you are traveling from east or west, Colby is a perfect place to stop and get something to eat, and the museum is a great place to stretch your legs. We welcome about 9,000 visitors a year from all over the world. To learn more, you can visit our website at www.prairiemuseum.org or check our Facebook page.
We have some great events that are annual events now in Colby. Picnic in the Park, and every Wednesday at lunch we ask you to bring your lawn chair and your lunch, and we provide musical entertainment. And we have everything from country to bluegrass to gospel to each week a different type of music. And a few of the Wednesdays we have groups that will provide lunch for a free will offering to make money for their service organizations, and so we feel it helps out everybody in the community. It's down in Pike Park, and a couple of years ago the city was very kind, along with the Rotary and the CVB, and we built a band shell down there, and so we have a nice place to play, and there's big old shade trees, and it's a wonderful way to spend some summer lunches.
Good. How are you? Good. Hi.
She's in love with the boy. She's in love with the boy. She's in love with the boy. And even if they have to run away, she's gonna marry that boy someday. Katie and Tommy at the drive-in movie, parked in the very last row. He says my high school ring will have to do till I can buy a wedding band. Her daddy says he ain't worth a lick. When it comes to rings, he's got the short end of the stick. But Katie's young and she just don't care. She'd follow Tommy anywhere. Her daddy's waiting up till 12:30 when they come sneaking up the walk. He says, young lady, get on up to your room while me and Junior have a talk. My daddy said you wasn't worth a lick. When it came to brains, you got the short end of the stick. But he was wrong, and honey, you are too. Katie looks at Tommy like I still look at you. She's in love with the boy. She's in love with the boy. She's in love with the boy. What's meant to be will always find a way.
Hello, my name is Bob McLemore. We're at the Thomas County Fairgrounds. This will be the site of the 25th annual Pickin' on the Plains Bluegrass Festival. This will be our biggest bluegrass festival that we've had in our 25 years experience. We've got some very well-known groups coming in that a lot of you have probably heard of. When we first started 25 years ago, we had no idea we'd be doing this 25 years. A lot of you notice is the love of the music, and people want it to continue because they like the bluegrass and the folk style of music, because you don't hear it on the radio. I mean, if you like that kind of music, you have to seek it out. The other thing about this style of music and the festival atmosphere is it's really family friendly. So it's someplace you can bring your young children, older folks can come. It's good for everyone, and it's a nice atmosphere. It's kind of a laid back, just enjoy your thing instead of the hustle bustle of going to a concert and then coming out. And for the price, you're getting a lot of concert in 3 days or 2.5 days, and you're getting that one show in an evening. Of all the work we do, the funnest part for me is probably in the evenings, Friday and Saturday evening, when I can actually kind of sit back and watch it, see the show work and see the crowd enjoying themselves and making sure everything is the way it should be. The Bluegrass Committee consists of approximately about 7 to 10 people. So all the work that goes on out here obviously can't be done by just this group. So we have a lot of community volunteers that help us on setup and tear down. Then during the year, soliciting sponsorships from various businesses in the area to help us pay for the cost of the show. The participation has been excellent. I mean, we have a lot of great sponsors that have been with us forever, for 25 years, some new ones. It'll be a great show as usual, but keep in mind next year, we're going to be moving it back to the first weekend in June, and we've contemplated that move for a long time, just to be able to hopefully avoid the heat. Things have worked out to where there's other events that aren't taking place, and so that time period's available. So next year in 2021, first weekend in June. So that might be a hard thing for us to break. We've been third weekend in July for 25 years, and now we're going to switch. Anyone who'd like more information, please check us out at www.pickinontheplains.com, and that's our website. There's ticket information, there's information about the acts, and also camping information and things like that.
Yeah, one of our activities is the Sunflower Festival. It's turned into a wonderful event. It's geared toward families, and then in the evenings, it's kind of more, then we turn toward the adults with a beer fest and a good old-fashioned street dance, and it's just a lot of fun. We have many activities for the kids, and it's just turned into a community event and something that we needed here in Colby. Santa City, we start the day after Thanksgiving, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus are there in the evenings. Mrs. Claus, of course, hands out her homemade cookies, and Santa's there to hear all about what the kids want for Christmas, and it's a wonderful environment. It's beautifully decorated. We have a lot of volunteers that help us in different ways. And it's been, I think, over 25 years now that we've done Santa City, and we try to upgrade it every year and come up with new things and exciting things for the kids.
My name is Tyson McGreer. I'm the City Manager of Colby, and we're out in front of the City Hall. We've kind of adopted the Colby Event Center. We want it to be a multifunctional event center, not just a sporting facility, but a complete event facility. I think I'm most proud of the bond that it's created with the community, and the desire and the excitement to have a great, not only for Colby, but a regional facility that we can host multiple things in. For the most part, it's a 2-gym complex, sporting gym complex that can be used for other things, along with meeting room space for 350 people, depending on how it was set up. Can be divided into 4 meeting room spaces, and then obviously office space. A sporting event in the main gym would hold somewhere around 1,850 people, and then during a concert, you can put around 600-700 seats on the floor. So we can near 2,500, I suppose, pretty comfortably, depending on the setup. Probably one of the most talked about things about the facility is the location. Ultimately picked, the college graciously essentially donated us the land to use there. We needed a big piece of land for not only the facility but the parking, and that just seemed to make a lot of sense logistically. Location next to the college, the high school, those sorts of things. So completion date, right now we're targeting around the end of November or the first part of December of 2020. I think Colby, and I talk about this a lot, has an extreme amount of momentum going for it right now. We've got a lot of projects going on in the community, public facilities, private facilities. We are doing, again, a rework of the Villa High pond that was created in the 60s. Long before much of Colby was even out there. I think it was K-Triple-X and a pasture. So we've reworked that and continuing to add to our trail system with that project. That's been a long project that we put in place a few years ago to create more trails and more recreational opportunities for people in town. So a lot of momentum going on. Yeah, we really pride ourselves in having those nice outdoor facilities for people to enjoy. We want to do some more things at the ball fields, but a cooperative partnership with the college. They used to have their own baseball field, and they moved out and kind of joined forces with the city, the high school, and the college, and recreated that field, reworked it, started working on the other fields at that complex, and now we'll hope to gain on that momentum and rework it even some more.
Well, I'm a retired district judge for the state of Kansas 15th Judicial District. My name's Glenn Schiffner. We have behind us what we are calling the Thomas County Justice Center. It's a $25.4 million project financed by a 3/4 sales tax, 30 years. And we began talking about this seriously in 2012 and actually had groundbreaking in September of 2017. So as you see it sitting here now, it's already been under construction for almost 2 years. Anticipate a completion date of, well, move prisoners in probably the 1st of December, and then there'll be landscaping work to do, and of course the ground will be frozen at that time, so they're anticipating taking a break until probably spring and come back. They anticipate the landscaping will take 120 days, and once that's done, then we'll go ahead and move the other offices in. It was designed to house the Thomas County Sheriff's Office, Colby Police Department, Northwest Kansas Community Corrections, Thomas County Probation Offices, KBI Office, and then of course the courts consisting of the District Court, District Magistrate Court, and all the ancillary services resulting from that. And so the jail capacity of this will be 68, and I think currently our current facility is like licensed for 11, so it's quite an improvement. But we're anticipating that we'll be able to provide services for the other counties around. Well, the courthouse was constructed in 1906, so we had our 100-year celebration several years ago, and architecturally, it's one of the prides of the community. I've been telling people whether we like it or not, I anticipate there will be consolidations of various services in this area of the state just because of financial necessity, and I would anticipate there's a likelihood that will involve the courts. And so this is designed with 2 courtrooms, offices for 2 judges and a visiting traveling judge, and so it's set up to meet the needs of the community in the area if ever necessary. as we're standing here, you can see our law enforcement center is right across the parking lot from us. That's where the current jail is. So inmates have to be transported across this parking lot, up a public elevator, down a public hall into the courtrooms, and it's just been really unsafe for a number of years. In this facility, there are 3 holding cells between the 2 courtrooms. So inmates will be transported directly from the jail area up an elevator into holding cells between the 2 courtrooms, and then escorted into whichever courtroom their presence is required. The current law enforcement center, built in 1975, that was designed to house, at that time, the Thomas County Sheriff's Office and Colby Police Department and a small jail. A year or 2 ago, the police department moved out and moved to another location downtown because we were out of space here. So this building, come next spring, will be demolished, and this area will become a landscape parking lot.
The last several years, I really feel our entities in the community have really partnered together to create some great things throughout the community. This spring we'll start on a rebuild of our runway here in Colby, Shaw's Field, so that's going to get redone. So a lot of our facilities are going to be new or reworked.
We try to be a full-service type community for people who are busy traveling through, or ones that would just like to see a nice, smaller town atmosphere for a few days.
You know, I think most of the credit needs to go to the people. The community really rallies behind not only the city but other entities to be progressive. I really believe Colby is a progressive town in western Kansas, and I think that the things that we have show that. I think we have an incredible staff at the city that do a lot of these projects and get it done in an efficient way so we can have those things for the public to enjoy.
We have a website. It is oasisontheplains.com. And we have an office here in town, or the visitor center. You're welcome to call with any questions you have. We try to put out on social media and other places of all the events we have coming up. And so you can plan if you want to come to Colby for the weekend.
You know, it would be nice if you came to see us, then you could see firsthand what this small town has to offer. Probably the biggest thing about Colby is the people. It's not unusual to walk down a sidewalk and have people say hi at you. Or to drive down the street, you need to keep one hand on the top of the steering wheel so you can wave at it, because they're going to wave back. I'd say that's the outstanding thing about Colby. But it's a great place to live, it's a great place to visit, and for goodness sakes, come to the visitor center here, because we have coffee, we have friendship. In fact, one of the things I like about my job at the visitor center here is meeting the people that come from places I have never been. They're going to places I have never seen, but I enjoy the people from Philadelphia, Ohio, Pennsylvania. In fact, I don't think I've ever met, I don't hardly ever meet somebody that is not warm or kind. They're just, people that come to this place are pleasant people, and they're fun to visit with.
Just come see us. give us a chance. We've just got great people and great things to see, and we're worth the stop.
Traveling Kansas Colby is underwritten by a grant from Colby Convention and Visitors Bureau. The Oasis on the Plains hopes you take time to experience all that Colby has to offer, from shopping to recreation, a museum that explores our heritage, to an exciting new event center.
This program is brought to you by the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. Find out more information about Kansas communities at travelks.com.